Your name and your title, please, and who you're with.
I'm Douglas Phelps. I'm with Sipcam Agro USA, and I am the Director of Specialized Solutions.
Douglas, I want to talk to you about compost. Now, we're coming up on the time when people are going to start making their plans for next year. And compost has been around for generations. But is it always the best, product that you can use? Let's talk about that, and let's talk about your product and see what the differences are. First, we were just talking off mic a little bit about compost and how it's used. Let's tell our listeners what you were just explaining.
Yeah, so compost is a nice, sustainable, organic form of nutrients and organic matter for our low organic matter soils that are prominent here in California. Growers have been using compost and manures for centuries as a acceptable and validated opportunity to supplement and amend their soils. But in permanent crops, what we find is that because that compost or that manure is not getting incorporated into the soil so that it can fully decompose into the humic substances that they're seeking, they end up, I'm not going to say wasting money, but they're not getting as much value as they can out of that application. And with our Annuity, it is a concentrated liquid organic matter material that can go through your irrigation system. It has already fully gone through the transformation to the point that once it hits the root zone, you're getting the value of that organic matter that our soils lack. And then if we put it out in the fall, it sits there over the course of the fall application. Once the trees start coming back to life and waking up in the spring, they're fully ready to start pushing roots, acquiring nutrients, and setting that tree up for a good crop.
So it makes a lot of sense to me. I know that for compost to fully work, it does need to be really incorporated into the soil. But that's not the case for a lot of our permanent crops. You're just not able to do that. But with Annuity, you're able to actually get the benefits of that into the soil.
Yeah, with our manufacturing process, the material it goes through all irrigation, all controlled irrigation systems, no fear of plugging, and the AI that you're looking for out of that compost is delivered directly to the root system to help with your nutrient efficiency, water uptake, and all of the benefits that you're seeking from that compost application.
I like data. And I like to know how things are working. If I'm using compost on my crops, am I using the same compost year after year? And how does that data work?
A lot of people just accept compost as a reputable spend of their money. They know that there's some NPK, some microbes, and in general, compost is just good for you. But at the end of the day, compost also has things like salts. Compost has varying nutrient loads within it, varying makeup of the material depending on where it comes from. So when growers think of all compost is good, all compost is the same, that is not a fair statement. What they need to realize is that in the same sense that when you go invest in compost and put it out on a field, I got to ask them, are they splitting fields? Are they seeing whether the $100 an acre that they're applying, are they truly getting that back in yield increase or in some form of crop health? With Annuity, we set out and did 4 years worth of trials. We did trials in the Northern California region and the Southern California region. We did 3 gallons of Annuity in comparison to 3 gallons of compost. And on average, across all of those field trials, we had about a 500 to 1 ROI in yield enhancement of the nut crops across those 4-year period. So it's one of those things that we've proven that it works. It's not guaranteed to have a yield increase every year. There's a lot of factors that go into it. But from a dollar spend, if you're going to spend X amount of dollars on compost, we encourage you to put some of those same dollars out with Annuity and do a comparison. We want you to see the value in it, but from ease of application through the irrigation, no issues with E. coli or listeria that may come from compost. There's a whole host of benefits that we encourage you to talk to your Sipcam rep, call Sipcam, and let us tell you more about Annuity and get some comparisons out on the acre.
You brought up a good point just then about the problems with E. coli or listeria, and especially listeria that's been in the news so much lately. And we know about all of these food safety regulations and the need to be careful. this really is a complete workaround, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of companies are offering these food safety programs where they're out tracking and monitoring, and that to me was an area that we need to get with those people to bring the attention to this opportunity to get that soil amended to help with some of the salts and some of the soil conditions that they're trying to amend with that compost application. When it comes to the NPK portion of compost, you typically, with today's fertilizer prices, can tap into that NPK with synthetic fertilizers and don't need it specifically from this organic form of compost that's getting applied. So once again, value for value, ease of application, and some of the benefits that you're seeing from Annuity, it definitely presents itself an opportunity that we'd like you to take a look at.
So for our listeners who would like to get more information on this, go to the Sipcam website.
Yeah, you can go to www.sipcamagroUSA.com. We've got a link there to Annuity, and you can see the data. You can see all of the stuff that we've talked about. And then on the website, you can click Find a Rep and get the phone number to somebody that can answer some questions for you.
All right. Thanks so much for your time today, Douglas.
Thank you very much.